Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. But most importantly, thanks for listening. This is the Real Retirees of New Jersey podcast with Peggy and Randy Fisher. It's all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. You can get more when you visit therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that and all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Now, let's get to the show. The active versus passive managed portfolio. Can you give me a deeper dive into that and like the pros and cons of each one and what you do and why you think one is better than the other? You mentioned it, but give me a little bit more.
So we talk about that always with our clients too. They'll come in and say, oh, John so-and-so, said I should just, leave all my money here. Just make sure that he'll check on that in like a year from now. We're going to be good. That's not how we are here. We have phone calls every 3 months with you, with our wealth advising, with our life insurance, with our annuities. We talk to you about things like that. We don't just say, here, set it and forget it. That's not us here at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis. We are about being the active manager and talking to you, seeing what you are doing. What is the plan? We do texts, we do emails, we do phone calls, not just in like the bad times. We do it in the good times too. Hey, did you realize we just made, so much money this week? We're doing great.
I love making calls when the market's down.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because most of our clients are not getting crushed like everybody else in the market when the market's down.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're continually saying, hey, listen, you know what? You got a couple extra dollars sitting around right now. This is a wonderful time to get back in it. And most people never hear from their advisors when the market's down.
Right.
People the advisor goes into hiding.
They do.
Because they're worried about them getting a adverse effect of that client saying, you know what, you're doing a bad job, or I'm taking my money away from you, or, they start asking questions and the advisors don't have the answers. The worst thing you could do is not answer a question. The worst thing you can do is not talk to a client.
Yeah. Or avoid the clients. We hear that from our clients all the time. I sent them an email and I got no response back.
Communication's key.
Absolutely.
The difference between active investing and passive investing, ladies and gentlemen, is there's a number of different things. If we look down two different columns, active investing by definition is attempting to beat the market through analysis and timing. So when people say you can't time the market, that's not entirely true. Hedge fund managers, mutual fund managers, pension managers, they all manage money trying to beat the market every day. Why can't an advisor try to do the same thing?
Right.
Why can't you try to do the same thing? If you're managing your own money, do-it-yourselfers, you're doing the same thing. Now, passive investing is slightly different. What you're looking there is to match the performance of an index or the market. So what you're doing is you're tracking the S&P 500 or you're tracking the NASDAQ 100 or the Mag 7 or whoever it may be, and you're looking to get just as good as that is. That's the reason why most people say 85% of mutual fund managers or people who are investing, in mutual funds never beat the market because they're not built to beat the market. That's like saying I'm driving around in a 1978 Volkswagen and I'm trying to race a Porsche. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go. Do I have four wheels and a steering wheel? Yeah, it's going to go, but it's not going to go as fast as a Porsche, right? So it's the same concept there. One more step is the strategy. So with strategies of active investing, it's more or less individual equities and research-based decisions. Where there are rules of engagement. I bought something, I'm holding it, it's marinating. When it got to a certain value, we're selling it. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we don't want to be pigs about it. We've made some money. We take the money, we recycle it back into the portfolio.
Yeah.
Strategy for passive investing is buy and hold. So buy and hold diversified funds like the S&P 500 or mutual funds. You're basically in it and that's it. If the market's going up, so are you. Unfortunately, if the market's going down, so are you. So you're going along for that ride, right? The goal of active investing essentially is to outperform the market, and we call that alpha, getting more than what you pay for. If I were to go out to dinner and I would pay $300 at a gourmet restaurant, walked out of there with a very happy full belly, I'd say that was well worth the money. If I walked into McDonald's and spent $300, I'd be pissed off, right? There's no alpha spending $300 in McDonald's, right? Where you're in
I don't know. Their Big Macs have gotten a little expensive.
I like the McRib.
Yeah.
The passive investing style and the goal there is to match the market again. That's called beta. Beta of 1 means if you have a beta of 1, which goes to our portfolio analysis in X-ray, if we looked at your portfolio and the matrix basically gives us a number, let's say it's 85. If you have a beta of 0.85, it means that you are 85% similar to the benchmark or to the market. But what does that also say? Because it's also a level or mechanism of risk. The measurement of risk to that standpoint is that do you have the stomach for 85% of the market volatility? And when we get together with some of these people that are more in retirement or heading towards retirement within a few years,
They don't really have that stomach.
they don't have that
Right,
stomach anymore,
exactly.
right? So maybe they're
Absolutely.
more of a 60-40, 50-50, somewhere in there. That's where the conversation needs to go into some greater detail.
Yeah, and we put that all into the plans always. to
Well,
see
when
even
people
that
start
change,
to
right?
yes,
Yeah.
when people start to look at the back test, we say, hey, listen, what if in the future the market did this? How would you feel?
Yeah, that's all in our plans.
And there's no right or wrong answer, right?
Right.
So it's literally, well, 3 years ago, if that happened, I wouldn't really care because I'm going to be working another 4 or 5. If I'm retiring in 6 months and the market does that and my portfolio did this, I'm not going to be a happy camper. So times change also. And that's what Peggy brought up, the 3-month windows in which we do reviews with clients. We
Right.
do that specifically because life changes.
It does. We want to talk to you about all those changes to make sure that the plan is still the plan. And if it's not, then we do make simple changes. No problem whatsoever.
Correct.
908-844-8337. Again, 908-844-8337. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you if you hear anything on this weekend show you need some clarity on from the team at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. That's Randy Fisher. That's Peggy Fisher. That X-ray portfolio, it's no cost, it's no obligation. And Randy, you mentioned a couple of seconds ago about the DIY method of managing a portfolio. What's the biggest mistake when you see from people who come in and say, oh, you know what, I saw some Google Sheets, or I manage my 401k via YouTube. Great, but there can be some problems with that. So what do you tell the DIYers out there?
Don't do it.
No.
That deep breath, I was ready for something like real deep and philosophical.
And it's funny.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Listen, we've come across some people that they're unbelievable at what they do and they really enjoy it. They're good at it. They've had great success. This is the conversation that we have with people. Manage your money as long as you want to manage it on your own. When you're ready to hand over the wheel, we're here for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to retire because they don't want a full-time job.
They do.
But what we find is husband and wives are constantly headbutting each other, where the wife wants to go out and the guy is sitting in front of a television or a computer screen managing a portfolio.
Or most clients who do come
or
in
vice
like that,
versa.
they'll just come in and go, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm ready
Eventually
to hand
that
this.
happens.
I'm ready to hand this over. Here are the statements. I've been doing it. I maybe have been doing a good job or not a good job, but I am at a point in my life where Randy just said, I just want to be retired. I don't want to have to worry about this every day. I'm not a financial advisor. You know, we worked at Merck, J&J or whatever the case, and I just want to be done. And I want to enjoy my retirement portion of life.
And it'll get to the point, hopefully far later in life, that you just don't have the faculties to do it anymore, right? You start to second guess your spouse's decisions,
Yes.
or worse is you start to doubt yourself and you think, well, I don't really want to make that mistake. I don't know, not so much I don't know what I'm doing anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got a 95-year-old Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett still managing billions and billions of dollars. Could it happen that you can go all the way into your 90s and hundreds to still be there? Sure you can. Most people just don't want to do it, right? Most people want to go golfing, go anywhere, right? So do whatever you want to do when you retire. You don't want to work when you retire,
Exactly.
especially working on your money.
Or you just don't want to worry about it anymore. You know what I mean? Like you've maybe looked over it for so many years and you're dealing with that. But sometimes like when people are getting ready to really retire, they just want to hand it over.
I want to shut it down.
Yes.
There's another thing that we always tell DIYers or whatever they call DIY. I don't even know the acronym,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do it yourself or DIY. The DIYers, they can get almost every single solitary instrument that's out there to a degree. There are proprietary products that are only available to certain channels in which they're not privy. So there are some specialized opportunities that are out there that they're not available that they do get from us. And that's how we also supplement those do-it-yourselfers.
Right.
And then we also have to do is prove to them that we know what we're doing.
And that's
because
another thing.
It's
We don't
the
always,
lack of control
right.
that
That's
kills
exactly.
them.
I was just going to say that, Rand, and that's exactly it. We'll even say, you know what? Let's do this. You keep your portion of what you've been doing. You give us some of the portion, and why don't you see how we
That's
do?
how most people start.
And it's a lot of our clients.
A
how
lot
they
of the
start.
do-it-yourselfers
and then
start.
a lot of the clients will be like, okay, here it is. Turn it over. I'm
Just
done.
this past year, I've had so many
Yes.
clients that started with a few dollars.
Yeah.
And with all the volatility, they're looking at their portfolio going, whoa, wait a minute. I'm losing in my portfolio. How are you making money in your portfolio? I had one person that joked at it. They're like, are you Madoff?
Yeah. Well, no, it's the
And I'm like,
husband
no,
and wife.
not Madoff.
We find a lot. It's funny. It's a lot of husband and wives, and it's usually, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be chauvinistic or anything. It's usually the husbands who are the do-it-yourselfers. Yep. And the wife will sometimes come in and say, you know what, I'm looking for a financial advisor. I want this to be independent. And the husband will sit there and say, yeah, go ahead. I want to see what Randy's going to do. And then it's so funny because they'll be like, all right, good job, Randy. Here it goes. I'm going to give you some of this here. Why don't you take care of it? And it's so funny that this does happen. That, it usually is, the husband will sit back and say, no, go ahead, you handle my wife's stuff. Let's see how you do. And then they'll come around.
They want someone else to be the guinea pig.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny, but I like how you said that, though. Is there are opportunities that we as the public, we may not have access to. This is what you do every single day.
And we bring up a lot of times in our workshops, that's exactly what Randy is, very educational during the workshops. And he'll bring up some things like that. And I can almost see it right in the do-it-yourselfer's eyes out there going, and they'll ask the question, where do I get that product? And Randy's like, you can't get that product. Right. So then that'll make them want to come in, at least first sit down and see what's going on.
There's
right?
also the peace of mind as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we have a pool and my pool guy's always telling me, he's like, look, I'll teach you how to do all this. But you know what? There's something about I trust him more than I trust myself because this is what he's been doing his entire life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't pull my own teeth.
Well, that's what we always say. I'm not a dentist. I'm not. That's what we always say that to a client. We're the financial planner. Let us help you. Yeah.
Not again, at least.
And we always say, don't put off your financial future to, let us help you achieve the peace that you need, the peace that lets you put your head down on the pillow at night and it's like, you know what? It's going to be okay. I can retire. I know that everything's okay out there. I'm going to be good in the future.
Yeah. And the good news is Randy still passed that class in college, too. So you had to make some decisions.
That was called anatomy.
Well played, sir. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.